Hello and welcome to IE News. Today we'll catch up with Drew Darnell and Fariel Khan, who took a look at a hot dog contest and a restaurant review.
We also have a very interesting entertainment report and an action-packed movie review.
Furthermore, an informative report on the LBCC shuttle buses.
Stay tuned for more IE News.
Goldman Sachs and LBCC ready to assist your small business. The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Initiative has partnered with Long Beach Community College District to help small businesses in the surrounding area grow and create jobs in 2012. Free information sessions are available to provide more details about the program. Small business owners will participate in an 11-session business entrepreneurship training program to receive a scholarship. Call 866-680-9880 for more information.
LBCC is offering the training you need to obtain your California Food Handler card. Training will be held on Saturday, March 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Please call 562-938-5051 for more info and to register.
Courtney Seligman will be presenting 4 astronomy open houses during the spring 2012 semester. The open houses are held on Fridays on the Liberal Arts campus in room D326 and are free admission and open to all. Beginning promptly at 7:30 p.m., seating is limited, so be sure to make a reservation by emailing courtney@cseligman.com.
Are you a current full-time student preparing for a career in manufacturing? Then you won't want to miss out. Scholarship workshops are being held during the month of March on the Pacific Coast campus. The workshops will provide students with all the information they need to successfully complete a scholarship application. Call 562-938-3125 for more details.
Nominations are now being accepted for the LBCC Alumni Hall of Fame. Nominees must have attended and/or graduated from LBCC. They must have a proven track record of achievement in their chosen career and service to the community. If you know anyone who is deserving of this honor, please complete the nomination form, which can be found online by March 23rd. For more information, please contact the Alumni Association office by emailing alumni@lbcc.edu.
We'll be right back with more IE News right after this.
Welcome back. Let's check in with Keisha Hall, who has the lowdown on the Grammys in this week's entertainment report.
Welcome to this week's entertainment report. Tragic news in the music world. One of the greatest singers to have ever graced the earth, Whitney Houston, has passed away at the young age of 48. In town for the 2012 Grammys, Houston was found unresponsive in the bathtub of her suite at the Beverly Hills Hilton on Saturday, February 11th. She publicly suffered a lifelong battle with addiction and was discovered with many pharmaceutical bottles in her room, though few actual pills were located. Toxicology tests are still ongoing. Her body was flown on Tyler Perry's private jet to her hometown of Newark, New Jersey, where services were held. Miss Houston stands as the most awarded female singer of all time, receiving over 400 honors and selling more than 170 million albums worldwide. 2012 was going to be a big year for the singer, with the remake of the movie Sparkle set to be released this summer. Our thoughts are with her family and friends. Well, the show must go on, and it did at the Grammys. Hollywood showcased their Sunday's best on the red carpet, which led many to ask the question, where the heck do these people go to church? The stampede of raging borderline personalities and various succubi tried to out-attention hog one another in costumes that made Lady Gaga look quite demure. Trends including S&M Mickey Mouse modeled on producer Deadmau5 and a Barbietron going to prom getup as seen here on singer Sasha. Yes, I don't know who they are either. On stage, Jennifer Hudson paid a fitting tribute to the late Houston, singing the mega hit, I Will Always Love You, and though it was an outstanding rendition, it demonstrated just how truly celestial Houston's voice was. donning outlet bargain bin Lady G. Nicki Minaj held some sort of hip-hop exorcism and projectile vomited Madonna's old act on stage, leaving even the Illuminati confused. Rihanna warbled alongside band Coldplay, resulting in sounds that only Helen Keller and certain types of reptiles could enjoy. Skrillex, a dubstep DJ famous for commanding $100,000 to hit play on his iPod at parties, somehow won 3 Grammys, half of what Adele earned, and with only 1/12 of the talent. Will somebody please think of the music? That's it for this week's Entertainment Report. I'm Keisha Hall for IE News.
Thank you, Keisha. Now let's go to Drew Daniel, who has an interesting story on the hot dog beauty contest.
I am here at Belmont Shore at the Hot Dog Beauty Contest, where more than 300 furry-legged beasts are going to showcase their talents. Let's take a look.
Well, I think we were mostly looking for personality. The ones that kind of like stood out the most were the ones that were kind of walking towards us, things like that.
I think it's just like an overall package. They got to be pretty on the inside, pretty on the outside, so that's pretty much what I looked for.
The Hot Dog Beauty Contest features dogs that range from a few months to almost 17 years old, competing for 12 coveted titles. Over 1,000 spectators attend the event every year, and some travel as far as Las Vegas, Utah, and even Montana. I asked some people how they could expect to win this doggy competition.
Well, they parade the dogs around, and there's several ways to win. And, you know, the dogs, you just hope they're on their best behavior.
I haven't got briefed on it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I just have to walk around in a circle. And I got to make sure that he, you know, just doesn't, they didn't brief me too much. Like I said, I'm doing this last minute, and I guess they're getting judged on the way they look, and I heard there's different categories of prizes. But I'm going to be honest with you, I can't stand here and tell you a lie. I don't know too much about what we're gonna do. I noticed that people were walking around in a circle.
Though the main event was the Doggy Beauty Contest, there were also several booths and vendors selling things like leashes, dog toys, and shirts.
We are selling fitness leashes made by Sweet Pea and Tallulah. This is Ralphie, and Ralphie is wearing one of the fitness leashes. And as you see, they're cut shorter so that it promotes power walking with you and your pet. It also has a pedometer on it. It has a LED light for nighttime, and also a nice little poopy bag.
3D Digital Photo is the name of our business, and we produce children's books and other books, and we do some personal 3D pet photography, and it's a lot of fun stuff like that.
Hi, I'm here with Pethead at the Hot Dog Beauty Contest, and we're actually not selling anything. We're giving away stuff, actually. You can actually win a year's supply of Pethead shampoo. We're just a really cool, funky line of pet shampoo and accessories. So we're just out here giving out free stuff and letting people know about us.
Yes, there were many dog owners and vendors attending the event, but I thought I should really get a word with the true stars of the show.
Are you having fun today? Hey, buddy. So we got to talk to some vendors, some owners, as well as some very talkative dogs. I can't wait for next year's Hot Dog Beauty Contest. My name is Drew Daniel for IE News.
Thanks, Drew. Now let's take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back. Wolves, Wilderness, and Liam Neeson in the new film The Grey. Let's take a look at this week's movie review.
In The Grey, Liam Neeson plays Otway, a hired killer for an oil company in Alaska. Otway's job isn't killing people, but the wild wolves that sometimes attack oil company workers. I'm not sure if the wolves also tried to steal Neeson's daughter, but we are given the idea that Neeson has lost everything and really doesn't have much to live for. Still, he's freaking Liam Neeson, so he presses on and keeps being awesome. When the job is done, Otway and his fellow oil workers climb on an airplane in the middle of a blizzard, always a good idea, and get ready to head back home. When the plane crashes and strands Neeson and a handful of survivors in the Alaska wilderness, the film really gets underway. We find wolves have long memories and enjoy vengeance as they attack our stranded protagonist party. Cinematographer Masanobu Takayagi and director Joe Carnahan do an excellent job of arranging shots that demonstrate the starkness of the situation and make you feel the terror felt by seemingly everyone but Neeson. Frank Grillo, Dallas Roberts, and Nonzo Anazi turn in fine acting performances that will have you believe they are trapped in the wilderness, being hunted by furry monsters, which is really impressive considering the wolves in the film are CGI. Neeson's performance itself is arguably worthy of early Oscar consideration, though I'll confess to being a little biased and appreciative of anything he does. Neeson's character is fleshed out during flashbacks, with narration that make you care about Otway and want to see him somehow survive the overwhelming odds. The Gray may seem like another man versus nature film, but it is more than that and definitely worth a trip to the theater. It has action and some softer touches in the story that really make you care for all the characters. I give The Gray 4 out of 5 stars, and even added some bits about the film to my stand-up act after seeing it. I'm Jerry Brandt for IE News.
Thanks, Jerry. Looking for a nice restaurant to go in between classes? Our very own reporters Drew and Ferry will have this week's restaurant review.
We are standing in front of Graceful Teriyaki Grill and Roll.
They're most known for their great chicken and beef bowls. Let's take a look.
Graceful Teriyaki is located on the corner of Lakewood and Carson, just minutes away from the LAC campus.
The owner, Timothy Hahn, works with his wife at his restaurant where he knows many of his customers by first name.
His business is very popular among students attending Long Beach City College.
We had a chance to ask Timothy how he got into the food industry.
I always like watching food channels, and I didn't know I was really interested until I've started realizing how interested I was watching all these TVs and all that. And then after that, I pursued a career by going to culinary school, and then I finished that, and I decided to open a restaurant to pursue what I like to do.
Their menu has everything from grilled stick plates to teriyaki burgers.
If you're a fan of spicy food, the restaurant gives you the option of making your meal very hot.
For those who prefer a healthier option, Graceful Teriyaki also has a variety of delicious salads with your choice of grilled meat.
My popular dish, generally they usually go out by evening, but some of the food that I introduced to you guys was some stick places, like beef and chicken stick plates, and then the chicken plate, and crunch roll, and the beef bowl, and those are the probably major things. And plate comes with a salad, tempura, and a rice and vegetable with meats. So,
my personal favorite dish has to be the amazing crunch roll.
I also enjoyed the flavorful salad and beef bowl.
Their food is prepared quickly and efficiently, making you always want to come back for more.
Come and try. You'll probably like it, and probably 98.9% of people who came through this restaurant like the food. So, yeah.
All in all, Graceful Teriyaki is a great little restaurant with tasty food and excellent customer service.
The sincerity of Timothy Hahn and his wife makes the atmosphere very welcoming.
I'm Ferial Khan.
And I'm Drew Durnell.
For IE News.
Thanks, guys. Wondering who's owning the music charts? DJ Fatsack has the lowdown in this week's Top 10.
What it do, y'all? This DJ Fatsack, KLBC.org, the Cracking Hour. I'm bringing y'all the top 10 hip-hop and R&B for my show. This how I do it, so don't even trip. Number 10 is Rack City by your boy Tiger. Number 9 is Work Out by your boy J. Cole. Number 8 is G-Tar with Shoulder Bounce. Number 7 is Quick the Mac featuring Von Jackson and Ammo with We Can Do It. Number 6 is Robin Thicke featuring Snoop Dogg, It's in the Morning. Number 5 is Chillin' in the Club by your boy Von Jackson once again. Number 4 is Rick Ross featuring Nicki Minaj in that cut, You the Boss. Number 3 is They Know. They Know, They Know, They Know by your boy Drake. Number 2 is G Tall, Ride If You Wanna. And the number 1 smacker right here on KLBC.org, big baby, is Wiz Khalifa featuring Snoop Dogg is Young, Wild, and Free. You get it right here first on KLBC.org. You can also check out our sister station, KCTY. The links to our Ustreams is right there, so don't get it twisted. KLBC, DJ Fat Sack, Top 10 Countdown. Baby, holla back.
Thanks, DJ Fat Sack. And now the continuation of our election 2012 coverage with Michelle LaCour, who is speaking with Al Austin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Spotlight interview with Al Austin II, City Council candidate for the 8th District. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your background and why you decided to run for City Council in the 8th District.
Well, I came to Long Beach in 1986, shortly after graduating from high school, and joined the workforce as an aerospace worker at McDonnell Douglas. Shortly thereafter, started attending classes right here at Long Beach City College. You know, I got a great start on life. Opportunities right out of high school that really aren't there for youth today, young people today leaving high school.
What specifically isn't there?
Well, the job opportunities, number one. I mean, when I graduated from high school, I could have probably afforded to raise a family on the wages that I was making, you know, as an 18-year-old young student. Those opportunities are far and few between today, and it kind of drove me into a career direction where I was a representative of workers for the past 2 decades in many respects, and you know, I'm passionate about jobs and job creation. My family left Detroit because our auto industry was going bad. We saw the auto industry, you know, lose thousands and thousands of jobs, and we saw how that changed the city back in the Midwest and the other Midwest cities. In Long Beach, we lost thousands of aerospace jobs, shipyard jobs, and great jobs that really fed a lot of families and really made this community what it is today. The thing that drives me as a I guess, I don't want to call myself middle-aged yet, but as a young man,
approaching the middle times of your life,
as a family man, and I have children now, and I really worry about their future, and I worry about the future of our city and overall economy.
So, if you were elected city council, what would you do to create more jobs?
Well, I think right now it starts with, we have to keep it simple and keep it basic. We have to start with small businesses in our communities. Long Beach, particularly the 8th District, is a hub to great neighborhoods and small business corridors. I want to do more to promote small business in our communities. I recently read a study that showed that small businesses actually create more jobs than any other segment of our economy, and so I want to focus on small business development in my district, in the 8th District, and throughout Long Beach. And then when the opportunities are presented to create good jobs, construction jobs through development, bringing new industries, emerging industries to Long Beach, I want to be an ambassador and an advocate to do that in every way, in shape and form.
The race that you're in, running you and Lillian Kawasaki, I think arguably we can say that it's a hotly contested race. There's no incumbent, so it's two brand new people running against each other, and you both have quite a bit of traction in terms of endorsements and support from your neighbors and citizens in your district. What is it going to take to be the winner of this race?
Well, I think it's going to take, ultimately, it's going to take the ability to connect with voters. I like to think that we have a campaign that's doing that with a message that is actually resonating very well, as well as we have a lot of friends who are helping us. I mean, my campaign is gaining steam every single day, and I'm spending a considerable amount of time talking to voters one-on-one, and at the end of the day, that's the relationship you want to have with your city council member. You want to be able to say, I know my city council member, I've talked to my city council member, I can touch and reach my city council member when I need it, because they are going to deliver the services that are impacting your lives on a daily basis. And so I'm actually having a great time with the campaign, and like I said, it's all about contacting voters and connecting with voters. understanding their issues and being able to relate to them. And I think I do that best.
If you were elected, what would be the very first order of business for Al Austin, councilman of the 8th District?
Well, the first order of business will be to, well, I got two things that I want to do immediately. I want to start a small business advisory committee in the 8th District with small business leaders, not only just the Bixby Knolls Business Improvement Association, the leaders of that organization, but developing other corridors and other key business owners throughout the district to start talking about ways in which the city can help facilitate small business development in the 8th District, and how we can be a resource for them and help them be profitable and create jobs. Number one. Number two, I want to make sure that we get a police academy in place immediately. You know, I think it's scary that it's scary that our police staffing is at the level that it is today. We know that we have some challenges coming our way with, particularly as a result of realignment from the state. We know that we're going to have thousands of parolees back in Long Beach. We're losing police officers year after year after year. We haven't graduated a police academy in the last 5 years, and so we're down in terms of numbers, and that should be really concerning to the residents of Long Beach.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us today, Mr. Austin. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is Michelle LaCour for IE News.
We'll be back with Michelle and the conclusion of this week's election 2012 coverage right after these messages.
Welcome to this week's Spotlight interview, IE News, with candidate for City Council 8th District, Ms. Lillian Kawasaki. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you, Michelle, and I want to say hello to the IE News viewers.
So, tell us a little bit about your background and why you decided to run for 8th District.
You know, I have more than 30 years of local government experience, and it's been experience that's very broad, one that has been about not only knowing the issues, but really solving the problems. I ran 2 departments, city departments. One of them actually had an annual budget of more than $300 million a year. That was an annual budget when it was broad. And my experience then was from the Community Development Department, which I ran. And they dealt with economic development and small business as well as neighborhood improvements. I also ran the Environmental Affairs Department for the city, and then 2 others with the Port of Los Angeles, and then I was an executive also with the LA Department of Water and Power. And the reason I'm running is at a particularly difficult time on budgets. We really need council members that can come in, hit the ground running, know the issues, and can really spend their time then not on a learning curve, but really solving the problems and getting results. I'm also an elected official already representing all of Long Beach, and I on the Water Replenishment District. And what we do is we manage the water and make sure you have a good supply. However, I would step down from that position because even though the job description for council says it's part-time, we know that it is really a full-time job.
You have 30 years experience, you know, in your past jobs, and you've earned yourself a $181,000 a year pension. And one of the questions that was brought to the forefront was, you know, what will be your stance on pension reform since you are getting a pension that's, you know, more than most Americans would ever see per year? How will you protect pensions, or will you be a part of that pension reform?
Well, you know, I ran 2 departments in the city of Los Angeles, as I mentioned. One of them was over a $300 million annual budget, and most of my experience was actually executive experience in the city. I did pay into my pension system for over 30 years, paid into a pension that was available to everybody with the same requirements and the same kind of rules. And so there was nothing special for me that it wasn't available to any other person paying into the pension. Also to understand that the pension for the city of Los Angeles is completely separate and independent from the pension in Long Beach. It is a self-insured pension plan. But notwithstanding that, you know, on pensions, I do have concern that the stability, the financial stability of the pensions does me no good or any other employee or retiree if the pension is not going to be there for them, what they counted on in the future, or with young employees coming up today. The other is the relationship between the pension stability and the long-term the long-term financial stability of the city. They are so interlocked. And so this is an area on pensions and on financial stability that I will be looking very carefully at.
Now, your district is, could you describe like sort of the geographical area? I mean, I know it's Bixby Knolls and it's north of Del Amo. What other neighborhoods does your district encompass?
Well, the geographical boundaries go from sort of, if you know Long Beach, from the Bixby Knolls area, and it goes up to what they call South Street, or South Street turning into Market, goes to the LA River, and then over to generally around San Antonio and Orange. It's a very diverse district. There's 53,000 people. There's the Bixby Knolls area. There's the Bixby, the Los Cerritos area, and then there's neighborhoods north of Del Amo. As I said, it's just very diverse.
And also the business is very diverse, isn't it? I mean, the corridor on Atlantic and in Bixby Knolls has some gourmet restaurants. It has a little bit more of an upscale feel. But how are you going to support business in your district, being that it's so diverse and so different?
No, if you look at any of my things, but I will tell you also that revitalizing the Atlantic Avenue corridor and the Long Beach Boulevard corridor are really one of my highest priority, and that's along the entire corridor, entire district, as well as even working closely with the Council District 9 and Council District 7, because it is really, I think the long-term health of this is that it's got to be a regional kind of revitalization. Where I believe my experience and also my knowledge is going to be so important is a lot of that area has been really revitalized by use of the redevelopment agency, which as of February 1st is no longer available. And that agency is the one that provided the funds for revitalization for blight. And there's many great projects that are still on the books that need to get funded. And so I think with my expertise, I'm already working on that today to really look at what are alternative mechanisms for financing, alternative mechanisms for really engaging the private sector to make investments in our business corridors. And it's something that is really a passion to me, as well as kind of an economic necessity.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Okay, and thank you again. And again, I want to say hi to the IE News viewers.
Thanks. This is Michelle LaCour for IE News.
That concludes our show.
If you'd like to be a part of our awesome team
and make wonderful television, call 562-938-4892.
We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of IE News.
See you next time.